Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me. Feels like these weekends get shorter and shorter. We got this. Good morning, Jangmo. Hello. Doc, what's up with you? Oh, by the way, Doc, I got your goodies. This morning, I thought we'd take a look at CitizenCon 2022. What they showed us about Pyro then, keeping in mind that this was all complete already when they did this. We'll do some AMA. There's a lot of new people arriving in Star Citizen. I guess we'll take questions and answer what we can. Don't be shy. I will insult you based upon the stupidity of your question, but once we get over that, we'll answer the questions. Play crazy games from Portugal. Hello. I know picanha is not Portuguese, but I love some good picanha from my Brazilian neighbors who taught me everything. Do you get a lot of Brazilian influenced foods in Portugal? Is there a cross-culture exchange of foods that way? Like cachaça, picanha, caipirinha. I'm just listing off the things that I enjoy. I know culturally it's different, but do the foods that Brazilians enjoy make their way over to Portuguese also? Because, I mean, there's a bit of cultural crossover there, right? Some cross-pollination. Shem Pasta, what's up? 07, good morning. Some, but like more Portuguese. Absolutely. There's a lot of Portuguese influence in Brazilian foods. But I'm wondering if it goes the other way too. This is the important stuff we got to ask, right? In addition to inside, yeah, Rob, so how it's going to work is this. I guess you guys can ask stupid questions. What I do then is I take a slurp of my coffee and I then insult you for the stupidity of your question. And then we answer your question. This is the way. But Doc, I got it. Now, this was supposed to be at CitizenCon. Let's go big screen here. When will we get instant hangers? First question of the day, hang on. What a stupid question. We'll get instant hangers when we get them. God damn it. How was that? Good? Thanks for the follow there, Dantian83. So I was just going to show you what Doc made for us for CitizenCon. Unfortunately, it didn't make it down, but we'll get this out for next year for sure. It's a whole bag. Hey, some more of these. They got a bit of dust on them. Let's clean it up. Check it out. Isn't that awesome? He handmade each and every single one, sitting there with a tiny chisel. Right? It's a little pin. This is so good. With more, goddamn, yeah. So, Doc, I mean, assuming this all lines up, assuming that Squadron 42 is going to get an announcement next year, and everyone is going to make that one, so assuming we get like 1,000 people from test, no. If we have 200-300 people from test arriving, then that's going to, what an amazing giveaway. Little loot item. I love it. Thank you very much, Doc. Much appreciated. It's awesome. No, send them to next year. Yes. There's 100 more. No, they're great. But what is the dust on them from production or is it from transportation? Daredevil, good morning. Ladies and gents. The best baker in all of Athens. Or is it the south of Athens? Daredevil. In the house. Texelis, what's up? Yeah, we're talking the politics of Star Citizen this morning. The Vandul are trying to cross the border. And the UAE are just bombing their villages. You know? We could totally. I know everyone freaks out because no one wants to touch politics, but if we simply phrase it in terms of in-game, then we can do it, right? The Vandal came over and just killed a whole bunch of UEE farm workers. They were just having a disco party, and now the UEE is responding. Rimoyne, good morning, welcome. Talking about politics, when's the banning? Oh my God, Arjon, listen. We'll do light politics, but that's going too far, okay? We don't talk about the banning merchantman, you know that. Well, let me answer this in the way I'm supposed to. God damn it, John, that's the dumbest question ever. The hat is fresh. No, it's cold. It's dropped down to 0 overnight, so my head needs warming up to get my brain kicked in. The white dust is from the adhesive. I guess it could be, Doc. Let me just pull out another one. Yeah, there's a bit of there's a bit of dust on them. You're making me clean everyone individually. So just so you know, when you guys get your pins, I have personally spat on each and every single one of them to clean it. Cosmic has a question for you in general in Discord. Yeah, sorry, I've got my Discord is behind all my screens. I can't see it. Can you bring the question here? Mikax, first time chatter, welcome, good to have you. Stream Elements has timed out D-Seth. Seth, there's an auto mod in here, so if you're trying to post a link to something, it may have nabbed it. Yeah, so be aware. So all of you in chat, because my stream is new, everyone is considered new, and so it puts a lot more restrictions on like posting links and things like that. His message was too long. Yeah, we don't need Seth's long diatribes this early in the morning, so keep him banned. He can't say too much too soon. Daniela R, welcome. Greens from the other side. Which other side is that? Cargo trade for corporates, round trip contact, not one way. I don't know what that means, Daredevil. We'll take a look in a second. I'll pull it up and we'll stick that in my screens of topics. Oh, it's a question that Cosmic himself posted. All right. We'll get around. Cosmic, we'll get to it. Bear with us. We'll get to that in a sec. I sent a screenshot of it in Discord. Okay, I have to pull up Discord now. Nope. Oh, Seth is getting okay, it's political. Seth, we can't talk about that. Sorry, man. Or is it? Oh, it's an image of what you said. The Vandal didn't accept the size of reaction of the Banu in support of the UAE. Supposedly, they were surprised by the number of weapons and munitions sent to the Banu, to the UAE, and the Banu carrier strike Obsidian off the... So is this the actual in-game? Because this sounds very plausible as something that's in the game itself. But I do like the take on this. We can definitely touch on politics by simply switching out the names to Banu and Vandal. I like it. I like it a lot. The only advantage the UE have is the Vandal are only one people, not a variety of species. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, it's going to get complicated. Winter, I've always been on this much. No, Imkeeper. I just started over the past weekend during CitizenCon. But there's I'm going to push for Twitch partner, so I can put it on my Twitter that I'm a Twitch partner, which makes me extra special. Because I see everyone say that they're Twitch partners, and then you go, wow, I had no respect for that person. But now that they're a Twitch partner, my respect is 10 times, right? Is that how it works these days? earn your damn respect, so it can have a stupid check mark. Is that how it works? Is that what makes you people happy? So apparently, I need to stream for like 3 more days, but I need to get over 100 concurrent viewers. I'm like at 75 concurrent, so bit of work to do, but I think just a couple of hosts from other streamers and we can do it. And then you can say that you follow a Twitch partner, as is tradition. Veritum, thanks for the follow. Dantanian, thanks for the follow. Mick X, thanks for the follow. Bennis, thanks for the follow. Code Red, thank you for the follow. It's a good start to the morning. Will ships like the Connie and Corsair and 600 be used for solar engineering? Will the carrot be low? Alright, first serious question of the day coming from Graven. Graven, if you're new here, that's how it works. First, we insult you for asking stupid questions, and then we answer your question and say how it's actually a good question, alright? So Graven is asking, will ships like the Connie, Corsair, and 600i be unusable solo now that the whole engineering thing is in? That is actually something I asked too, because as soon as I saw the whole thing's catching fire and you need a guy to go put out the fire and then use the repair tool on something, I'm like, holy crap, like how the hell am I going to solo my javelin now? And I know all of you are thinking the exact same question. We all bought javelins because we just think it's a cool solo ship. So it's not going to be impossible, but it's definitely going to make things a lot more difficult. 600i, any 3-seater, like the Constellation, any of those, when a problem arises and you're the solo person on it, you can simply, get up the captain's chair, take a long walk down and fix whatever it is. It's going to be time. Now, if you're under combat situations, that's detrimental, right? So if you are in combat and a critical system goes down, you're screwed. But if it's like, okay, your life support went down, you can still quantum away, it's fine. So it really depends what system got hit. Obviously, in combat, we're all going to be targeting quantum first, so the person can't jump away. And if the solo and the guy is running to the back to go fix that component, that means there's no one flying, which means you can then, take down shields and do whatever you need to do. So it's definitely going to make things a lot more complicated. Artemis, good morning. How are you doing? You're right about the new Bengal platform variants. There's a new video from Jewel about the light carrier and battlecruiser variants. Look, Artemis, of course I'm right. Why do you doubt anything I ever say? Right? Do you think I'm lying to you? Of course I'm right. I've never been wrong about anything in Star Citizen, ever. Everyone knows this. But there are variants to the Bengal. And the Bengal with a big cannon is just a Bengal. And a Bengal with no cannons is still a Bengal. It's just different, right? Mikak saying, wouldn't you be able to hire NPCs as a crew in a ship? Yes. So we haven't had much updates on that. Broke Citizen, good morning. Yeah, it is so far, Broke Citizen. Depending on the amount of stupid questions I get, we'll see. So far the questions have been pretty damn stupid. So, yeah, once I'm done my coffee, it'll be better. But Mikax, am I pronouncing it Mikax correctly? The promise was to us from Chris Roberts himself, Mika, you got it, was that for every game package you own, you will get an AI NPC to do stuff for you, ranging from flying as a wingman to possibly doing things in the ship. So we don't know how the AI is going to work. If you get an engineer that is AI crewmate to you, we know that the longer they serve as your crewmate, the better they get at certain tasks. We don't know how you assign them to engineering. We're saying, yeah, you will be an engineer and you will go run around and put out fires. I'm sure they have a plan in place. We have yet to see it, I think. So if you guys know more than I do about the situation, we were promised AI NPCs, but we have yet to see how they can work, how they are assigned their duties, how they will do their duties. Will they sit with you and then get up and run to put out a fire? I guess it's not an impossible thing to program in, but like with anything else in Star Citizen, I'll believe it when I see it, right? So it is doable. So to go back to the very, very first question, there was, is a large ship like what you asked for, not the Constellation, are the largest ships going to be soloable? So the answer is yes. They will be, obviously, at your own risk, but if you do have competent AI, a lot easier. Firebrand saying, I noticed the Zeus had an extra large radar bay in the front and medium. Yeah, the Zeus seems to be the go-to ship, and you know what? Yeah, Zero Squared, good afternoon, good morning. Good morning for me, afternoon for you. I'm on the West Coast. I keep on staring at the Zeus. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, you know. I know a lot of you are probably having the same dilemma. I'm thinking, what the hell do I CCU into this? And for one thing, there's some light fighters I'm just not using. And I'm thinking a couple of my light fighters will go into the Mark II and the MR. I don't know. I keep looking. What do I need this? I don't need it. I don't need it because I have the ships which do this. But I do need it because look how beautiful it is. Right? So if you have 10 or more pledge packages, you will have enough NPC crew to... Ria Moine, I don't know if it means you'll have unlimited NPCs. That's going to be impossible. Plus, how many servers they have to spin up to run all your AI NPCs. Maybe you can have a max of 2 or 3. There's going to be a maximum. It's impossible. Yeah, Moonhowler, we're discussing it right now. We're trying to figure it out. Right? Any idea what blockade possibilities there are for jump points is asking Enigma. Enigma, goddamn, that's a stupid question. But also it's a good question. A blockade will simply be a bunch of people with dampeners trying to catch everyone going in. If you've played EVE, I mean, you know how blocking a jump point can work. Either you catch people in the front end or you catch people in the back end. So I definitely see that being a very legit and lucrative game loop of catching the cargo coming in or exiting one side or the other and, you know, pirating that. So definitely a problem for guys playing couriers, but a fun game loop for everyone else that's in the PvP side, right? Daredale saying it's a ship he wanted to have from the first time. Yeah? What, this one? It is cool, isn't it? Steve saying he picked up all 3 because why not? But Steve, answer me this, all right? I guarantee that you have about 30 or 40 ships. I'm assuming you're a whale. And I guarantee that you only fly 3 of them. Right? All of you. Every single person in here that has like 10, 15 ships, you fly 3 at most. And the only reason you fly the 3rd one is because when you respawn at Grim Hex, you need a taxi. And that taxi is either the Cutter or the Aurora or the Mustang. That's why you have the 3rd ship. Right? Can the female armor be more feminine? Weepy Sleeper asking the good questions here, right? All your questions are stupid, except for this one from Weepy Sleeper. And he's asking, can the female armor be more feminine? Everyone looks like dudes and it feels like a sausage party. First of all, embrace the sausage. No shame in being okay with that. Second of all, the reason why they can't change the armor shape is because it needs to be uniform. There's no body slider in Star Citizen because the way your character fits in a seat and rides the bike and sits in chairs and sits in turrets has to be uniform. They can't make a body slider, so you can't have your athletic female and your voluptuous female as models. They have to basically say, where can we just cut out some work there, just make every single model the same. I mean, personally, I'd like my guy to be more buff to reflect my actual physical self like I am in real life, 20-inch buys, like he works out, not like some anorexic CrossFitter. But there's no option. You have to accept the character you have, right? Montoya Tim. Yes, Vertice, welcome. We're going to be discussing the wokeness of the Vanduul in this episode. Our battle against the woke Vanduul begins. Hold the line. What's the new one? Is it hold the line? Answer the call? Vulcan, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Montoya, it's like asking why do people have a muscle card? They only need a small card to get them from A to B. No, Imkeeper, the point I was making with all the ships, if that's the topic you're talking about, is guys like Steve see this, right? And they're like, God damn, I gotta buy all three. But the irony is he will not use all three. He'll use them once or twice, and then they just become hanger queens, and it sits there. The one and only ship from these three, which is unique, is this one right here. There is no medium-sized ship which does bounty hunting and has a snare and is it a quantum snare? An EMP. This is the only one in its class that is unique. Yeah, Steve, if you're getting hit by auto mods just because the stream is new and everyone is a bit tight, it'll ease off as we do this more often. So be kind to our auto mod. But here's a problem if you sell one and you can't get it back. You don't get LTI. The other thing about the LTI, I mean, they sold us on that crap, how important LTI is. And you know what? It's not. Once we're playing the game, no one's going to care if your ship is LTI. There is no point in time where you will be in the game and someone will go, oh my god, is that the MK2ES? Did you get LTI with that? No one's going to care. Nor will you care. It's not going to make a difference. I think it's a great selling feature for us right now, thinking there's insurance. But once we're playing the game and you bought a ship in-game and it goes, oh, your insurance is about to expire and you need 5,000 UEC to make it last for next year or whatever it's going to be, it's not going to be a big deal, right? No one will care about your LTI in like 5 years from now, except you and me. Would like your thoughts on a video called Star Citizen New Capital Ships, a deep dive from YouTuber Jail. Whatever their deep dive is, it's not that deep because we know all the capital ships. There is no new capital ship we don't know of. And the variants on the Bengal we all saw, right? God damn it, you're going to make me look it up, aren't you? LTI is my virtual crutch. No, M-Keeper, you're right. You know, what makes us better than the others? What makes us better is we paid for LTI. Jail, Star Citizen, capital ships. This better not be lame.
There's a lot of buzz around.
Well, I guess this is new for some of you. It's the Pegasus. 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, let's take a look. Yeah, you know what? I forget. And thanks for reminding me. Those of us been around forever, this is nothing new. And I guess, okay, we've seen this 1,000 times, but a lot of you just joined recently. There's been a ton of new arrivals because of CitizenCon. We saw Asmon, we covered Doc also talking about everything, and how everyone loved what they saw. So there's a lot of fresh faces arriving for the first time who have never seen this before. So, yeah, you know what? Thank you. Yes, I take it back. It's not stupid. I need to be reminded not everyone has been sitting here for 10 years, right? So let's do this. This comes to us from a YouTuber named Jail, who has 1,000 subs. Drop by, give him some support. Why is no one giving this guy a thumbs up? He's got 0 thumbs up on his video. I'll give you a thumbs up on this. I'm not logged in though. Okay, I will sign in and give you a thumbs up. God damn, I hate people. Oh, it's because I'm not logged in. Oh, okay. I take it back. He's got plenty of thumbs up on that. I'm not logged in this account, that's why. All right, without further ado, let's get Artemis cooled down there because he's not shouting about this video, but we'll watch this now, Artemis. We'll take a look through it. I'm guessing he's going to talk about the Retribution. I'm guessing he's going to talk about the Pegasus, things which have not been seen yet. Artesius cheered for 100 bits. Thank you very much. How much is a bit, by the way? I keep on seeing them. I have no idea what it is. Aren't there new RSI capital-sized cruisers that look like mini Bengals in the beginning? Yeah, TS Forest, they are. My head's getting hot now. Whew. We'll switch the test cap. There are a couple of Bengals, like one with bigger cannons on them, so we know there's variants. We touched on that a bit the other day, and I guess maybe that this video might show us more. All right, let's roll. Volume up.
There's a lot of buzz around potential new capital ships visible in the I Held the Line Squadron 42 trailer from CitizenCon 2953. But what are they? Are they battleships, cruisers, carriers?
Yeah, this is it, right?
What information can we glean from past sources? In this video, I'll be going way back to the start of the project to talk about the information we have around these ships. The structure I'm going to use is that I'm going to list just the facts in a mostly chronological order. Then I'm going.
Let me just set this up for those of you who are just arriving. People still coming in. Welcome. We're going to take a look at a video here made by Jail. He's a small YouTuber. 1,000 subs. Go in there, give him a like, and he's going to be talking about the new capital ships, a deep dive. He's going to be talking about ships that we've known about for a while, most likely, but a lot of new faces in here. So set your faces to stunned, as I'm assuming he's going to be talking about things like the Pegasus and the Retribution, not yet shown. Although that's going to be a nice surprise if people don't know the ship exists and then suddenly it pops up. But let's go. This is Jail and Star Citizen's new capital ships. Roll.
Buzz around potential new capital ships visible in the I Held the Line Squadron 42 trailer from CitizenCon 2953. But what are they? Are they battleships, cruisers, carriers? And what information can we glean from past sources? In this video, I'll be going way back to the start of the project to talk about the information we have around these ships. The structure I'm going to use is that I'm going to list just the facts in a mostly chronological order. Then I'm going to go on to draw some of the strong connections between those data points, and finally I'll end by indulging in a little speculation. This video may contain small spoilers to Squadron 42 and will reference one leaked image from development. This might not be absolutely every morsel of news, but I am going to cover some background information that highlight the remaining gaps in our knowledge, and I think these are the pertinent points. Between 2012 and 2013, stretch goals added numerous ship classes to the game. These included the cruiser at 4.5
Oh my god,
million.
the stretch goals. The stretch goals stopped a long time ago. Let me just throw in the thought here very quickly. And I want to see these kind of come back because there were goals which gave you stuff. They said, if we hit $5 million, you'll get a rifle or you'll get this. And it stopped. You know, I would like to see them say, if we hit $650 million, everyone gets a small ship. When we hit $700 million, thank you, backers, everyone gets this starter ship, right? Why not? Like, give us something small. Like the starter ships especially are useless to majority of us, but it's great as a taxi from one place to another, right? I say, bring back the stretch goal. Say, when we hit $750 million, when we hit $8 million, everyone gets a little thing. Bring it back.
Escort carrier at $15 million, and the battle cruiser at $17 million. Of these, the cruiser is described as playable, the battle cruiser as flyable, but no such description is given for the escort carrier. Note that the Bengal, which we know we may be able to find a derelict version of but we can't buy, is also listed
Can't
as
buy yet. The F8 you weren't supposed to buy. How many of you here go, oh, I'd buy the Bengal carrier in a second. I don't want to bother trying to find one and fixing it. Sell me the damn, I will liquidate my entire hangar to buy one Bengal carrier and have the F8 on it, and that is it. That is all I need in the game, right? And obviously the Bengal carrier is going to be solo. It's my solo ship. Just me and like an NPC. And my engineer NPC, and that's it. No one's coming on my Bengal, man. You know you do it. Like, hey guys, can someone come pick me up from Grimex? Yeah, I'm coming. Let me just grab my Bengal. You're going to solo that thing everywhere. I know you will.
March 2013, and the subscriber magazine Jump Point publishes a galactic guide to Cathcart which references an Indefatigable class battleship. This name is removed from the guide when it is later published to the main website. The Indefatigable class battleship is also mentioned in the May 2013 Vandal warship analysis. Jump Point issues through 2013 track the story of the Void Rats, a UEE Navy squadron assigned to the UES Africanus, a support carrier that's just a retrofitted battlecruiser.
Africanus? Had been parted to the teddy bear's back, but Grandma had grown and so had Africanus. I've never heard about any of this. Wow, there's a lot of lore. The F7s are alongside more modern than the Africanus, a ship hundreds of years out of date. I haven't touched the lore in this game. I haven't even peeked at the lore because I'm kind of saving it for Squadron 42. I want it all to be a surprise, kind of.
Used for less important naval operations. In January 2014, Lore Builder Episode 13 listed the prefix designations for different classes of capital ship used by the UEE. These designations have since been used numerous times, though we can't necessarily assume that all will still be valid. Note that the escort carrier, Charlie Victor Echo, cruiser, battleship and battlecruiser are all included at this point. In December 2014, the Pegasus class escort carrier, which had been mentioned before, was
Alright, so what you're looking at here is the Pegasus class carrier. Now this is actually, I don't recall if this was the leak from the 2015 Disco Lando leaks. Anyone who knows better than that might refresh me on that. But there was a catastrophic security breach at CIG. Disco Lando was doing one of his shows, and behind him was a screen, and in that screen there was a URL, and that URL was a partial URL to about 70 gigs or 100 gigs worth of internal build of Star Citizen that was sitting on the cloud. Now the last 5 or 6 digits of that URL were obscured, but some enterprising individuals from a community that wanted to see Star Citizen fail brute forced the last couple of digits and managed to get the file of 70 or 80 gigs of a ton of builds of ships and I don't know whatever data there was in there. And I believe this was possibly one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of stuff was lost or was leaked out in 2015 because of that. And I don't know if this was an image which was released before or after that. It's been a while. Ethan, what's up? Good morning. Yeah, the Amazon web server oopsie, and that's why Disco Lando, it was pretty scary at the time. Was very concerning that Disco Lando might lose his job because of that. Anyone knowing who Scipio Africanus was, of course I know who that is. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look it up.
And shown to be a long ship with a side-slung asymmetric landing bay. Previously this had been referred to as the Panther in some conversations, though this was the first image of the vessel shown. It has been shown and discussed a number of times before and since, but there's little change from what we see at this stage. It's described in the holiday livestream that year as being the player's home for part of Squadron 42. May 2018 and a special of Around the Verse features the latest character model of Randall Graves, the character played by John Rhys Davis. The character's jacket pairs a patch marked UEES Chimera Charlie Victor Echo 35. This patch moves around his jacket in other videos, but still prominently featured in both the October 2018 cinematic teaser and the 2023 I Held the Line video. July 2021, and Lawmakers Community Questions.
Artemis, thank you very much for the super chat. Sorry, I wasn't looking at it. I've been distracted by the video. Thank you very much, everyone on YouTube. Sorry for ignoring you. I had that video. I get the chat scroll behind my screen. Thanks for reminding me. I'm terrible at streaming, by the way. Righty, anyone, welcome to the stream.
Indefatigable class battleship is a historical but defunct class of vessel.
Artemis for £1. Thank you, sir.
September 2021, and a Galactopedia article entitled Integrity and Honor has been published. The article mentions a cruiser called the UES Integrity, which featured a propaganda recruitment film in 2935, 10 years before the events of Squadron 42. Late 2022, and leaked images begin to surface online of 2 capital ships.
Alright, so this we saw. What we basically have here is it looks like the same back end, but if you look at the front, we see that those 2 giant cannons have been replaced. So you have a top deck for, I guess, for landing or carrying more stuff on the top for just quick access, and an interior also. Is that what we're seeing on this one? Because it looked like a separate ship, but it's the same body type, right? Oh, it's also missing part of the back. It's missing that at the back too. So, yeah, that is a chunky, aggressive Bengal versus your light carrier Bengal. Actually, left side being new Pegasus. No, really? Maybe if they just dropped the Pegasus, but like in Wing Commander, right? You had the top deck where the planes land on a runway because, you know, obviously in space you need a runway to land on. But you can definitely see big differences. These gigantic, I'm going to guess what size, 8, 9? Yeah.
Both appear to be made from parts of the Bengal carrier, but with key differences. One appears to have a flight deck and a tapered nose, while the other retains the Bengal's distinctive duckbill but replaces the flight deck with large cannons. Both appear to only have underslung rear engines and lack the upper engines of the Bengal. September 2023, and as part of the last monthly Galactopedia update before CitizenCon, the Pegasus is added to Galactopedia. It is described in the present tense and as a standard component of UEE Navy fleets. October 2023, and the new Squadron 42 trailer drops during CitizenCon 2953. There are 2 clips that I'll be looking at in detail. The opening shot over Vega 2.
Damn, this guy went all out. Jail, good job. He's gone and drawn red squares around every single ship versus when my analysis was, I don't see anything too exciting and I moved on. But this guy's actually pausing and stopping on each and every one. I love that people take this much attention to detail. It's awesome.
And the later scene of Admiral Bishop's speech, which ends with another exterior shot of the fleet. I've picked out every potential capital ship that I think I can find across both clips. I'm highlighting them across the footage so you can double check my interpretations if you like. Note that if a ship appears in 2 of my annotated snapshots, it should have the same identifying number. While most names and shapes are indistinct, during one shot we can clearly see the UEES Corvus and a sneak peek at the UEES Integrity, viewable past Mark Strong's legs, and I've put together.
How the hell does he read that text? God damn. Hang on. How's he do it? Stop laughing. This will happen to you too. Yeah, Daredevil knows what's up, right? Hit your late 40s. It's going to happen. Stop laughing.
The reconstruction of the different shots we have of this. Now I'm going to move on to drawing connections between these points of information. I believe that these points of analysis, while not explicitly stated in the videos, are things that we can be quite confident about. Let's first analyse the ships we see in the new trailer. Sorting these vessels into their classes, I believe we can see 1 Bengal, the Grigari, 12 Javelins, 7 Idrises, 9 Hammerheads which aren't capitals but could be mistaken for them, and 10 ships that don't appear to conform to an announced ship class. I have tried to ignore the Hornets and Retaliators also in shot, but one snuck in. Within our unidentified ships, all but 2 appear to be of the same class, which I'll term Class A, with this Y-shaped ship and this ship with a carrier deck being the only outliers in Class B. Of the leaked ships in 2022, I believe that our unidentified Class A ships match the ship on the right. This is the craft characterised by a Bengal-shaped nose and 3 large guns, 2 fore and 1 after the tower. Furthermore, I have grouped both the UES Integrity and the UES Corvus into Class A. As for the other vessel on the left, this is characterised by a flight deck projecting from under the tower, a Y-shaped profile, and prominent ventral projections that are absent from Class A. As it appears to be a smaller carrier, the only designation from the 2014 Lawmaker's Guide it would match is the escort carrier, a class designation occupied by the Pegasus. The Pegasus still exists somewhere within the lore, as we can tell by these extremely recent...
Is that what is implying, that this particular ship we're seeing here does not exist anymore? And is out? Is that what he just said? Battleships running size 14 shipbreaker cannons like what the Bengal uses. Oh. Yeah, so what's that? There were 3 size 14s per turret on that? That's going to be awesome. The big ship battles are gonna be amazing. So this is no longer, he's saying, in the game? Or got removed and reusing Bengal turrets? Huh. Slicer, what's up? I see you checking out the Zeus. Yeah, I was. We'll go back to Zeus discussions in a second. That's our go-to, but we're looking at the Bengals and new carriers right now. Let's keep rolling the video.
Addition to the Galactopedia. While its model seen in 2014 is conspicuously absent from the naval shots, the retention of that model on Randall Graves' jacket, despite an update pass, implies that the UES Chimera, whatever it was, did look like that old 2014 Pegasus model. The Charlie Victor Echo serial number matches the escort carrier, and like the Pegasus, the Chimera comes from Greek mythology.
Why are they using an old guy as their model here? I mean, is this basically representative of the demographics that are backing Star Citizen? Is this what we look like to them? Is this where it is? Alex Snow for $5. Thank you very much. Favorite stream. Thank you. I see. I got to come clean with you guys. I actually pay Alex to say these things, and he pays money back. It's a circular thing. Anyway, what we see here is what CIG thinks the average backer looks like, which is a 60-year-old man. And Daredevil's like, it looks like a normal person.
Following the trend,
money bag.
Navy ships keep to the same theme as the lead ship of the class. Now on to more outlandish speculations. This is where I'm going beyond what I'm confident in saying it probably is true, and into areas where it's very possible that I'm wrong. I believe that Class A, which included the Integrity and the Corvus, are from a ship class.
It's a photo of me. Screw you, unknown citizen. Mods.
Now,
ban that guy for insulting me.
Called. I can't think of a thematic connection between Integrity and Corvus. Which
Jack Raven for 5. Thank you, old Navy vet. So
the exact names might just be incidental. Yeah. Could be breaking.
So I'm partially joking, all right. But these, the old guy wearing the jacket there, they sat down and go, what does our average backer look like? And the team said, well, they're typically between 50 and 60 years old and, served in Korea or Vietnam at this point. And that's an accurate representation of the average backer of Star Citizen. I'm laughing because it's true.
Naming patterns, which is not unheard of, or may just be different generations.
It is Gimli, you're right.
They call flights of ships, which do sometimes change naming pattern, as in the Hammerhead class. Alternatively, one could be the cruiser and the other the battle cruiser, with the differences not being obvious in the video as we can see it here. And it is worth recognizing that Galactopedia uses the lowercase for describing ship classes, so it's actually quite hard to tell if cruiser is a class or if it's just a description, in the same way that one might idly and non-technically describe all capital ships as, like, battleships, for example. If I had to guess, I'd say it's more likely to be the Corvus class cruiser, because that's a constellation and RSI ships are quite often named after constellations. I think it's highly likely that the previous model we've seen for the Pegasus will not be featured as part of modern fleets, and instead will be kept only as an earlier generation of escort carrier.
Interesting theory. Interesting. I wouldn't put it past them. You're right. I mean, should they spend... Look how long the Banu Merchantman's taking, or look how long the Javelin Idris took to make. Do you think they'll be sitting back there trying to create this ship at this point in time? This model, what you're seeing here, was created years ago. We're talking 2015 or earlier. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. So it's very possible that this will not be anything we see in the game, because the amount of work it's going to take to bring it up to current standards. He's right. I would not disagree. Right? Waste of dev time. Yeah. It's not like if they release this, everyone go, oh my God, it's so amazing. I don't know if any of you care at this point if something like this is released. Like the Retribution, I think, is an asset in Squadron. It's like the big secret weapon that the UE is working on. This is just my theory crafting. I haven't checked on the lore on this. But I'm guessing the UE creates the Retribution as like the final hammer blow on the Vanduul. And seeing that in action is probably the climax of Squadron 42. But that's just my guess. Alex Snow for another 5. Thank you very much. I want to write Star Citizen short story fan fiction. Do you think CIG would have a problem with that? No. Look, anything community made is appreciated, Alex Snow. No one has a problem with it. Unless it's going to be like triple X rated, in which case submit to me first for approval before you release it. Yeah. So I don't agree with, I agree with Jail. I see this as wasted dev time. No one's going to go, wow, I can't wait for this to come out. Yep.
If it does appear, it might be only as a set piece, as implied for a segment of Squadron 42. Its absence from footage at this stage, a month after they said it's a standard part of naval fleets, is to me just a bit too suspicious. The old model with a hangar bolted onto the side is reminiscent of the description of the retrofitted Africanus mentioned in Void Rats, and they might reuse that idea of having the Chimera be one of those retrofitted ships, basically just an old ship with something bashed onto the side of it. Instead, I suspect that the Class B ships will have replaced it as the escort carrier of the line. Since the recent Galactopedia specifically mentions the Pegasus as the current model and as featuring in many fleets, I think it's...
That is interesting. I'm trying to just place the design here. That's the bridge? For a sec, or is that the engine? That's an engine. What's that? Is that the bridge? And this is the flight deck with like ships landing on it? I'm seeing it correctly, right?
Possible that the name will transfer to the new model, with the Greek mythology connection being an inherited feature from the class that Chimera belonged to. This is the area where I'm least confident because there's a lot of good options of what they could do, and the Pegasus might simply be absent because the presence of a Bengal makes it redundant. I don't think we've seen a battleship yet, and indeed such a vessel might not even really exist outside of lore and history, given that it only appears in a handful of articles and was never a stretch goal. I don't see any connections between the vessels we see in the new video and the information we've seen about battleships, like the Indefatigable class. It might be a defunct concept in modern naval language, superseded by a more carrier-focused doctrine and later, the Retribution Dreadnought. I hope this overview has been of interest to you. Do you agree with my conclusions? Let me know in the comments.
I do.
If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this video about more history of UE.
So... Great video by Jail. I agree that the Pegasus might be retired. Everything you said so is pretty spot on. The only thing Jail obsessed about much is the language interface. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And guys, drop by Jail and give the guy a follow. This is the kind of content which Star Citizen definitely needs and deserves. I like it a lot. All right, so while we were doing that, I missed a bunch of questions and comments. Let's get in there now. Code Ritter, yes, Azbeka served in the War of Karak-Dun. What? Shempasta asking, do you think it's worth updating the cutter to the cutter scout? Yeah. I mean, what's a cutter? I mean, the cutter itself is cool on its own, but the cutter scout gives you the extra functionality of the scanning tools and things, right? I think so. Artesius getting timed out again for the 3rd time during the stream. Awesome. Good work. Your lack of use of punctuation has pissed off the bot. Learn how to write properly. Jail's a real class act. Always has interesting info. You know, I do appreciate like Astropub, Jail, and those guys who take the time and effort to go back and read 1,000 things. It's not something I could ever do. I go crazy if I do, but I like when other people do it so I can just reference it myself. So I definitely appreciate the content creators take the time to do that. Roman, thanks for dropping in. Catch you later. Let me just scroll back and get some of the questions we missed while we were watching that. Bengals have quad size 14s. They do? I thought there was 3 cannons per turret. I could be wrong. Indicator, we're the grandpas now. Yeah. No shit. Who was in the other day that is like having their 5th grandchild now? It's like a photo of you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Look, 10 years is 10 years. I don't know why some of you think that, 10 years didn't affect you. It got us all at the same rate. Weepy saying, how dare you tell me I can't solo a capital ship? You can solo a capital. Everyone here can solo a capital ship. But when shit goes down and something catches fire, and you're going to be flying or landing at the same time there's a fire going on somewhere, it's going to be difficult. So you better have your 5 or 6 AI being able to do what they, I guess, supposed to do. We were all young when they launched the Kickstarter. Well, it depends on definitions. I mean, some of you were in your 30s and 40s when the Kickstarter began. That is young. Some of you, like Cosmic, were in your 60s when Kickstarter came out. It's still around. But everyone's just hanging on, right? Living out of spite just to see the game come out. Like a military, why make components and parts for 10 different ships when you can just make parts and works for 10? Yeah, good points. Artesius raising over there is that if they can reuse assets, not only like in real life, right? If you can transplant pieces from one thing onto another thing in the military, they'll do that as opposed to making a completely new vehicle. So exactly the same way, you're right. Why create a whole new carrier if you can just strip parts off the existing Bengal, pull off the cannon, stick on a landing deck, and there you go. There's your carrier. Much easier to make and save yourself 1,000 dev hours and 50 years of ship production. Absolutely. Did the whole Star Citizen convention computer blades because it didn't make a server meshing file? I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase that in a sentence with 3 words or less? An AI crewed cap ship is always going to crash and burn against the capture crewed by players. Yes, Firebrand. Players should always be better than AI. I mean, they can crank up the AI in combat, we know, to have like pixel perfect aim, but they don't do that because they need to give the humans a chance. But they can make, if they wanted to, make AI in your ship more efficient, although they shouldn't. But if they said, I mean, they've said before that you will have AI crew, right? And you don't want your crew to be useless. So they'll find that balance. I'm sure they will eventually. Weepy, I know you're joking. You know, you don't have to apologize. I get it. It's fine. Yeah. Have I seen Star Citizen players as AI going to be dumb as bricks based on average? Look, I don't think you have to come in here and badmouth the Star Citizen community, all right? I take offense to that. But you're wrong. You're not wrong. And they said the crew will have different levels. Yes, Lord Cat. They said that the more you do something, the better you will become at it. We saw in gameplay, in normal gameplay, that the more you do stealth, the better your character becomes at stealth. That same thing is applied to the AI, or should be applied to AI, I'm guessing. But if you assign an AI in your crew to do engineering, the longer they sit at the engineering station and the more engineering tasks they do, the more efficient they become as an engineer. That, I'm guessing, will reference their reaction time to something taking place. So if your shield component catches fire and someone has to go put out the fire and repair it, I'm guessing that the AI dealing with that will be more efficient at doing it, meaning take care of it faster. If there's another way you think it may be done, let me know. But how I see it is that the AI will react faster to the problem the longer and the better they are at that role. If you think I would be better than real players, haven't seen me play. Yes. That's true. I think I would much rather have a crew full of AI than you guys manning my ship. Seeing how terrible you all are. Definitely take AI. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Doc, see you later. Thank you very much. See you in a bit. All right, so should we go back to discussing if we should get the Zeus or keep the Spirit? I feel we can discuss this for hours. But what I did want to talk about, and the let's do Cosmic. I forgot. Sorry, Cosmic, if you're still watching. Cargo trade for corporates equals round-trip contracts and not one way. Please consider this before release. We should not be left stranded in Pyro working for a corporation. Also, the contract must be profitable. So much more. So you're saying... I don't see why not. I don't see why there wouldn't be round-trip contracts. If it's not in the game right now, Cosmic, I'm sure it will be. No? But yeah, I mean, everything... I know I keep on referencing Eve, but the only reason I reference Eve is because they've been at this for so much longer. And same in Elite Dangerous, right? You do round trips. So if there is no round trip right now, I definitely think there will be. I don't see them ignoring that aspect of it. But ladies and gentlemen, let's dive in and take a look at what Pyro is it coming tomorrow? When is Pyro supposed to drop? Tonight? Tomorrow? Pyro's coming very, very soon. And I thought we'd take a look at what they showed us about Pyro in last year's digital CitizenCon. If only Athy was in chat and she could clarify and answer some of these questions for us. But since she's not here, I guess we'll just wing it without her. Hi, Fire, first-time chatter. Welcome. Good to have you join us. So, ladies and gents, we're going to kick off a little look at the video from 2952 Digital CitizenCon about Pyro, and it's going to be revealing a lot more than what we saw at this past CitizenCon. Let's roll. Feel free to keep on asking questions in chat, and we'll get around to answering them in the middle of this video. I know how you guys love me pausing in the middle of a video, so I'll be pausing a lot just to mostly piss you off and answer questions. Let's roll.
My name's Max. I'm here on behalf of the Planet content team today. I'm a senior environment artist, and I want to show you some of the cool stuff that we worked on in the last 2 years. So I have Pyro I open already. It's live in engine. This is like the current version of Pyro, so we're still going to do like a polish pass on it, so not everything is done, but we still wanted to show you what we have so far. So the idea behind Pyro I is that it gets hit by solar flares like repeatedly. We got some concept art from the concept art team, and the way that they visualized these solar flare hits was like glowing marks and streaks all over the planet. Unfortunately, the tech for the glowing part...
First, pause of the video because Moonshadow's asking an important question. And I have to say, he's asking, someone said the Zeus is a Cutlass killer. Is this true? Should I upgrade all my Cutlass to a Zeus? The Cutlass has more DPS, I believe. Someone double check if you want, but I do believe the trade-off is Cutlass has DPS, Zeus is just pretty, and has more bang for the buck in terms of interior and what the ship does. My opinion is less about the DPS, more about the aesthetic, what you like better. Personally, I like the Zeus aesthetic just because it's new and the new hotness, but look, the Cutlass Black are a mainstay. They're good old reliable. So I would keep one Cutlass if possible. Unpause. Let's go.
Part of it is still being worked on, so we had to make do with what we could.
Thanks for coming, Weepy. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Goodbye.
Use. So it's not glowing, but you can still see a lot of the blue coming in. Yeah, as you can see, Pyro I already has some volumetric clouds. Not all of the Pyro planets have their volumetric clouds yet. So let's jump to one of the blue spots on the planet. I just tweaked like the sun position a little bit to make it look a bit nicer. And then you can see why it's blue. We added like tons of these crystals to Pyro I. We've used crystals before on Wala, but I think we were a bit too... we played it a bit too safe on Wala. I think we only put like crystals.
I think the most exciting thing about Pyro to me is just a change of scenery.
Shapes.
We've seen there's always cool stuff in Stanton, but just I want to see different alien worlds. I know that they've done different things. Okay, maybe these crystals are blue instead of green. Is that it? But there's also fauna and flora, and yeah, having animals and things flying around. I can't wait for that.
Years ago, they were supposed to be part of like a mission in.
Unique, stop being racist.
Station. The mission was scrapped.
God damn it, Unique. Just because you don't understand European accents, okay? They're translating his English to English.
Unfortunately, and ever since then, this asset set has just been sitting in our like vault. It's a really cool plant set, and I'm happy that we finally found a spot to use them. So this is another spot I want to highlight. It's also important for us that we do add something memorable to each planet. In the case of Pyro I, it's this spiky rock set that looks really intimidating. We tried to push the scale of the assets for the Pyro system. We felt like by now we got like the basic rocks and the scattering of the basic rocks to like a very good quality. So now we can explore more crazy shapes.
Where'd you live in Europe,
one
Unique?
of the sets that we made. It's not done yet. It still needs a polish pass. But I wanted to show you guys what it feels like when you're in game, walking around here. Now I want to show
European
you
accents are awesome,
favorite
except the
biome of
Danish.
Pyro I.
Nobody understands the
It's
Danish.
this biome
Hope Monk and
here,
Shive are not in here,
which
but
has these
Danish is a
really cool
horrible
volcanic
language.
rock formations.
What was that
They
clip?
are massive in scale. Like if I jump,
Okay, we're on the Danish slamming part of the stream now. I need the clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine where the two cops from Sweden are slamming the Danish language. It's a garbage language for garbage people. Who knows that clip? No, maybe we won't. We'll just continue.
in game here.
No, I joke because we call them in test. We have the Danish duo. It's Munkin and Shive, who've been with us forever. Awesome guys. But the joke is that they speak English to each other. I gotta find the clip for you because Danish is a difficult language, but also a language which is slowly dying because the Danish people themselves don't speak it to each other too much. Imkeeper is laughing because he's from Norway, and two Danes can't communicate. yes, that's the one, Imkeeper. That's it. That's the one where he goes to the. No, you are Danish. Oh, okay. Whew, okay. So I hope I'm not insulting you too much, but that was an awesome clip. Because he's trying to find the bicycle tube and he doesn't know what the bicycle tube is called in Danish. Okay, I gotta find the clip for you now.
You get a good feeling for the scale of them. Yeah, it's possible to land your spaceship on them. It's probably really fun to, race through here. We can imagine that this is going to be like a nice combat space as well because they do provide nice cover. Let's just jump to a couple different areas on Pyro 1.
Dan for Scandinavia. Dan for Scandinavia.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to interrupt your stream. Pyro is very important and we do want to look more at blue planets with blue sunsets. But as part of the cultural sensitivity training, which I feel my chat solely needs, because you bozos need a lot of cultural sensitivity training, we're going to learn more about the beautiful Danish culture at this point in time. Brought to us by Imkeeper, who is one of the local Danes who is watching the stream right now. And I'd like to basically have you watch this very important stream video from 17 years ago at this point. Kelpin DK07, welcome to chat. We're just about to engage in some cultural sensitivity training. We're going to learn about the beautiful Danish culture. Brought to us by Innkeeper. And here we go.
Er det når Danish language has always been impossible to understand for most Scandinavians. But the recent years, it has been impossible to understand for us in Denmark too. So for me, the Danish language has collapsed into meaningless guttural sounds. For example...
I was not aware of these issues until this was brought to my attention by Munken in our org. But sit back, enjoy. It's 4 minutes. You can do it.
The other day, I had a problem with my bicycle. I had a flat tire. I had to go into a traditional Danish ice cream store. And when I came in, I didn't even remember the Danish word for hello. Gav good. I didn't understand anything of him, so I just repeated what he said.
Gud, sker det?
Jeg skal se... Lille solskin og lille skåner. Skulle jeg have en slagskab for en lille cykelur?
Oh, goddamn. Okay, people are still coming in. Imkeeper, can you explain? Steve, Danish people have a problem in that the Danish language is slipping away. The reason I bring it up is because our 2 local Danish members in TES speak English to each other. And the joke is that they're forgetting the Danish language, all right? So here we have 2 Danes interacting in the bicycle store. The guy's looking for a product. He doesn't know what it's called. The store owner doesn't understand what he's saying, and they're trying to figure it out, all right?
Skal?
Slag for en lille skægelkugle.
Cykelkugle!
Ja. Cykelkugle. I didn't know what the fuck cykelkugle was. I just gave him some tape rests.
Cykelkugle.
Flawless. Here's some camombeles. I don't know what the game is, but it was wrong. So then I just had to take a wild shot, and I said the word cameloso. Jeg skulle have en cameloso.
Cameloso!
Oh, god damn it. That's an excellent ship name. Kamalaza. I'm so naming my Idris that.
I didn't know what Kamalaza was. In general, I must say, it's not easy to run a nice and calm store and nobody knows what things are called.
Så, jeg har et problem, Cameloso. En spisnigel. Flimser du?
Cameloso.
Cameloso.
Cameloso. He gave me a file, but then I had no choice. I just had to take it.
Then I got a bit desperate and I really tried to reach through to him, but he just became afraid of me.
Vi forstår hinanden ikke.
You work as a milkman?
Yes, I sell and deliver milk, yes. Skal det være som mækkedag?
Mækkedag? Tak og sukke tak 1000.
Så, 1000 dog.
Innkeeper, do you understand any of that?
The Eisenkram man has been claiming that you fooled him into order 1,000 liters of your milk.
Yeah, maybe. And so fucking what? Yeah, I mean to make a fortune out of this communication problem. But I mean, who's to blame? Who's to blame? I need money, I have 3 cows to feed. Og du skal sådan komme, og du skal anklage mig for tilbage, når du skal se glasses.
What did you just say there?
Now you just ordered 1,000 liter milk.
I knew the file costed 86 crowns, but the Danish number system is very complicated, so I just said something.
Kender katten, pressen, 14 sorts, og halve soløver.
Yeah.
Is the Danish numbering system similar to the one in French? Anyone know?
I had the price, but I had no idea what the number is at. I just held out the clump of money.
50 soløver?
Yeah. Das ist ein Fischenfäden.
Og 15 der? På længslet.
På længslet. If nothing is done, the Danish society will collapse. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. We need help.
Please help us. I want to direct an appeal to the United Nations and the international community. Please help us. We need help now. We're desperate.
No, we don't need any help. Of course, this is going all just so fine. The whole communication. Leave us alone, please. Let's handle it ourselves.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our cultural sensitivity training segment of the stream. Today, we understand that the Danish people need our help. And we also know that Kamalorsa is a file. So we've learned something important here. And please show kindness and respect to Imkeeper in our stream, who is Danish. And I guess, every day we'll do another video to further understand and be respectful of other cultures and their needs around us. So I hope this was... Can we watch the South Park Pandaverse episode? God damn. I watched it yesterday. It's so true. South Park has always been... I don't want to... Is South Park like down the middle? Like sometimes I feel they left-leaning, but other times I feel they're right-leaning. And like, am I too far to the left on this issue? But then I'll be, am I too far to the right on this issue? And where do they? I don't know. Yeah. So I'm not sure. It kind of... Are they always center? Because I don't know if I'm the one that fluctuates from one side to another and they're just center. Is that it? But it was a funny episode. It's so true. Although Kenny was kind of hot. Anyways, let's get back to speaking of cultural sensitivity. We are now going to learn how to respect the culture of Pyro. Where the human situation is, where South Park is. Yeah, look, South Park has been on the ball. I make fun of everything. True. I guess if South Park is making fun of something and you're offended, where's it put you? Pyro II, roll.
So now we're on Pyro II. In comparison to Pyro I, you can immediately see the planet is like way more colorful. There's more variation in the use and values of the colors. We have like browns and like bone white spots, some red, and it's all contrasted by like a blue clear ocean. So Pyro II doesn't have volumetric clouds yet, but they will be there at release. So now I jump to one of the biomes of Pyro II. What I want to highlight here is the improvements that we made to how acids spawn on the side of mountains.
Look at these canyons. The amount of vertical distance. Well, no, we've seen canyons as high before, but not this particular structure. I'd like to see some really deep canyons and variety in that, if that's doable. What is the height limit of terrain? Do you guys know what the height limit is in the terrain? Because there is a limit to it.
This is a big step forward. Also, what you might see is the drawing distance of acids has been greatly improved. So everything you see here in the distance is actual geometry. So if we...
N7 coming, do you believe Mass Effect 4 will be in Star Citizen? Really? Is there Mass Effect 4? Or are they going to announce it? The only Star Citizen killer is Star Citizen itself. There is nothing that can derail this game at this point, other than Squadron 42 being crap. But from what we've seen so far, Squadron 42 looks awesome. Yeah, so there is no Star Citizen killer. It's like saying the next World of Warcraft is, the next MMO is going to be the World of Warcraft killer. It's not going to happen.
The planet is that we added these calcified trees, and they spawn in very dense clusters. So you almost get like little forests of them. So it's supposed to look very dry and kind of dead, but still in a pretty way. Okay, if we look at it from this angle, what I really like about this biome is the contrast that you have here on the terrain. It's pale, it's dry, but then in the background you have like...
If I'm offended, I'm the problem? No, it's impossible.
On Pyro II, it's kind of like a sandy desert, but we try to add like a lot of different geology assets, different mixes of bushes and grasses. So it's not like
The color looks good here.
desert, but it feels kind of lively. And you find like lots of foliage here. We have like these cliffs in the background. Which
So this is
are
Pyro
pretty
II he's talking
dark.
about.
And
Yeah,
it's
I
another
mean,
nice
it may change, but if this is
contrast
the
of
color scheme
planet
they've gone with,
where you
like
have,
clear skies
saturated
and
red terrain, and
looks
the
very
dark
Australia, like
bedrock.
the
jumping
outback
to
of
this
Australia.
point here, what I want to highlight is the improvements that we made to our ground textures. So previously, like 2-3 years ago, we had to rely a lot on
Kind of
ground
channel
cover
this.
acids to add geometry
This is the
and detail that the ground textures alone couldn't give us. But ever since we got terrain displacement, we get like really nice.
Space Clown. This is the channel people come to get insulted. We break them down and then we build them up with important topics like cultural sensitivity, which we just covered. We all have greater respect for the Danish culture at this point. Kamalasa. Can I pronounce it correctly? Which is a file.
Keynote demo, but I want to use the opportunity to give you like an in-depth look at some of the biomes. So last year you saw that like yellow.
Imkeeper, I know you may think you understand the Danish language because you are Danish, but trust me, I watched a 4-minute video on YouTube. I am an expert on this topic now, all right?
About what's making it look yellow, which is the moss, and I want to like jump down to the planet surface and show you the amount of detail that
We need
you
help.
will see
Go to the UN.
when going up close to the moss. So we're down at the surface now. I'm just going to jump in game. A lot of time and effort was spent on making the moss look just right. So like the right level of fluffiness and density. So it looks really nice when it like covers these rocks.
So back on the topic of Star Citizen, and you know, I like this kind of thing, all right? He's showing us the moss on a rock. Now, if you land on a planet and you're walking past a rock, there is no chance in hell you're going to stop to look at the moss and the way that the wind is reacting with the moss on a rock. But the fact that, this is why I like these videos, when you watch a dev talk about it, he goes,
Fluffiness and density, so it looks really
look at the fluffiness and the density of the moss on a rock. And now that that's stuck in my head, when I go land on Pyro and I walk past this fucking rock, I'll go, oh my god, the density and fluffiness of this moss is beautiful. And I appreciate this dev for taking the time to create this.
nice.
It's so fluffy!
It's when it like covers these rocks. And then we also have like lots of smaller moss on the ground. We combine it with like yellow grass. And it makes for like a really interesting biome. So it was really important for us to make this biome look really dense. So we pushed the amount of acids that we're using. So it's basically completely covered in foliage. Compared to Hurston, for example, Hurston and Microtech, which are probably our densest planets when it comes to foliage, this is way denser. The good thing is that we don't have any trees
Aurelius,
here,
what
so
room
all
is?
the budget we can
Post
use
in chat, let me
on ground
know.
cover, on grass. Now we jump to a Pyro coast biome. The improvements we got to the coast biomes is that we can now use a OPR override for every single biome. Previously, we could only use one global override per planet, which, as you can imagine, is not enough when you have something like Stanton 4, where you have snowy regions and the spruce tree regions, and one object preset just can't cover every coast. We added these coral.
Not sure about the
coral
start date for
geology
IAE,
set,
but we'll be soon.
to have some
I
of
guess,
the yellow
a week or
also
two.
along the coast. So you see here, we always have like a little bit of yellow coming through, and eventually it transitions into the nice mossy areas. Previously, when we made coast object presets, we played it a bit safe and only used 1 or 2 acid sets. But due to the fact that we can now push the density along the coast as well, you can find different kinds of coral, seaweed, different pebbles and rocks, and other stuff. Now I jump to one of the volcanic regions on Pyro III. You might not expect to find vegetation here, but we did add a little bit of vegetation to this region to make it a bit more interesting. What I want to highlight here is the quality bar that we set for ourselves when it comes to improving the look of our vegetation. So this is
Yeah, Jake is okay. It's funny you bring it up, Jake, because the original, when I was thinking of a title for the stream this morning, I was going to say Pyro is boring as a title, but I thought, nah, like maybe I don't want to sound like I'm a Debbie Downer to everyone, but I'm excited as everyone else for a new system. But keep in mind that space is empty, and Pyro, as exciting as these new biomes are to us, is empty, right? And I mentioned this in my other stream where Bethesda said, we have 1,000 different locations and moons and planets, and everyone's, yay, 1,000 different locations. It doesn't matter how many locations you have, because unless you've taken the time to handcraft everything, it's empty. I mean, you can procedure generate stuff, which is repeatable, but space is very empty.
The clouds here are not done yet. They do look busted, but yeah, they will look amazing once the planet comes out. So let's focus on the terrain shapes. We created some of these terrain shapes special for Pyro IV because it's loosely inspired by like Scottish highlands.
Scottish
so
Highlands.
Not a lot of like verticality.
Ooh.
Not a lot.
Speaking of Scottish Highlands, you know that they are going to be remaking Highlander with none other. Let me just confirm this. Did I see this correctly? Oh yeah. So speaking of Scottish Highlands, guys, Athy, are you in chat? If Athy's not on, let her know. Lionsgate. There she is. Moving forward with Henry Cavill and Chad Stahelski. Highlander reboot. I'm hopeful. I like that Highlander movie. Let's hope it doesn't. It's not a disaster. You're welcome, Athy.
A lot of trees, so everything is kind of coming from the terrain and from the smaller assets that we scatter on the terrain geometry. So jumping in game, and then you can see the amount of ground cover assets on display.
There can only be one. I know, what a great movie.
Variation in color,
Who
but it's all
wants to
grounded
live
by like the
forever?
the color of the soil, and it just we have
Shoot, wait. Are we doing karaoke today?
multiple new vegetation sets on display here. So first of all, we have this bush set here,
Yeah,
which
grass
is
density
called,
is good.
I think it's called a fire stalk, which it's kind of like a modified version of the real
Mutt Dog. The remaking 80s and 90s movies are fine as long as they. Have you watched the Pandaverse or South Park? Remake the movies, but replace the characters with minorities. That's the tradition now.
tree sets. If you compare like the trees that we have on Hurston to these ones, the geometry count is way higher, the texture resolution is a bit higher, and they just look more polished.
Walk up to 2 seasons, you can't commit.
Which means that
don't say that, Ronald.
We have to go back to Hurston, to Microtech, and give the trees there like a little makeover. So what was really important for us was to improve the blending between different biomes. So you see here, these are two fairly simple biomes. There's a clear distinction between them, but the transition still feels very natural. So if we go down here, you have like the red grass and it kind of feathers out.
No, Indicator raising good points about the concern for the graphical and CPU needs to run all this. Typically, the last thing a game does is the optimization part. So even what we're seeing now is not fully optimized to run. And they're always going to find a way to improve that extra 1-2%. And they do. They always improve. There's a small incremental improvements they make. We've seen this in previous Inside Star Citizens where they've spoken about the work it takes to... oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Getting these to
That's
look
awesome.
right is that they're supposed to look really good from a distance, because you would expect something this big, to be visible almost from space. But then the tricky thing is also to make them look good when you're standing up close to them.
I see new race courses
so you
arriving.
See how big these rocks actually are. So they are massive in scale. You can probably land your spaceship on them and walk on them, and they make you feel like really small. But I think it's a really good visual that you have these like dark gray.
But on the topic of, look, it's definitely a concern. How many times, and you guys in chat, let me ask you this question too. How many upgrade cycles have you guys been through, right? The first card I bought specifically to run the Hangar module in Star Citizen was the AMD 270, which at the time was the best bang for the buck that you could get. And I thought, I'm buying this card, it's a mid-range card, but it's going to be great, and this is what I'm going to play when the game comes out. And that was a long time ago. And so from there, I think I managed to hang on to that card for a while until I got the 970 NVIDIA GTX. And I go, okay, like this 970, like this card, it's definitely going to carry me into this game now. It's going to be the one I used for the game. And as time goes on, and I see you guys in chat have suffered the exact same problem I have, right? So the most recent card before my last upgrade was the 1080 Ti. Now the 1080 Ti was the most expensive release card at the time. I think it was $1,000, if you guys remember that. It was $1,000 card. It was the first time I think a card broke over the $1,000 mark. And I didn't buy it new, but I got it much later on. And I go, okay, like the 1080 Ti, this card will be the card I use to play this game. And that's been ongoing for 10 years at this point. So my kids all inherit the previous generations. I'm currently sitting on the 4070, which is an awesome card. So amazing. 1080 Ti is still great. Yeah. Actually, in fact, you could still be getting away with a 970, 980 at this point, as long as you have 32 gigs of RAM. The 1000 series cards, 1070, 1080, doable if you have enough RAM. But I think that's the minimum spec right now, as low as you can go. I'm holding off on buying a new computer until the game comes out. Yeah, absolutely, Lord Cat. Hang on to your PC as long as possible. But then on the other hand, I mean, you have a problem that Raven is having there. Can't afford to keep up, so just can't play the game. And there's been patches and periods in time where I've been in the exact same spot. When Arson came out with the clouds, I couldn't go to Arson because I'd slow down to 2 frames a second. It was unplayable. So I just wouldn't go to Arson to go, well, turn the clouds off. You can, which I did. But even then, Arson was running like absolute garbage for me. I don't know if you guys had the same problem. And it's only once I went to a 1080 Ti that I could actually go to Arson without looking like a slideshow. It was terrible. So in many ways, Star Citizen has forced a lot of people to basically upgrade or simply sit out. And a lot of people like Raven there, you're 100% correct. They're sitting out until such time that the game comes out. And when the game comes out, then you'll upgrade. I can believe it. Yeah. Lord Catting, you haven't played for a few years. Yeah, that happens. The good thing is, though, Lord Cat, is that the lower-end PCs, like if you walk into Costco today and buy a low-end PC from Costco or any pre-built, it's generations better than what you had 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Like the low-end stuff can probably run Star Citizen at this point.
Shapes of the terrain poking out of the volumetric clouds. Yeah, you can probably spot some of the tiling issues that we have here, which is something that we still need to look at. But like I said before, this is still work in progress, so it's gonna change a bit. Because I mentioned biome diversity along the coasts before, I just wanted to highlight what one of the coast biomes
all these new zones
looks like. So this one is kind of this wet sand. We scattered some of the seaweed, some of these lava plates.
And everything they're showing, if you just dropped in the stream, everything they're showing here is from last year. So this is vastly improved, and this is before the water physics we have now even came in. I don't think that's the modern water physics either. Star Citizen is a new crisis. Absolutely, yes, you're right. Yeah. And I don't think that there's any... Well, we've yet to see. But you guys who played Pyro at CitizenCon, were there any CPU or GPU heavy areas that we don't know about? I don't think there's any major surprises in Pyro when it comes to that.
So it's a mix of like the global displacement texture and then the height maps of the ecosystems spawning on top, plus the volumetric clouds make it look really epic here. Now we've flown down to the surface of the crater. We wanted this to feel very spooky and grim and kind of dark, so we have these dark fantasy forest looking trees, which look kind of creepy. Then we bring some of the red grass back from the previous.
Jealous of anyone that had 40 minutes hands-on? It's coming our way. It's always like that though. Whenever like Evocati gets first shot at some ship, you know, like, oh my god, like I can't wait to get my hands on that too. But patience, it's coming. I think it's one thing that a lot of backers have learned over the years here, is the best strategy to not drive yourself crazy with Star Citizen is to sit back, relax, and just let it unfold. Like the petals of a flower. Do you know what a plethora is? The petals of the flower cannot be forced open. Three Amigos reference.
That it has a landmark that you can see from space. In this case, it's not a crater, but it's like a long streak of slick obsidian. So let's fly down to the surface of the streak and have a look what it looks like from up close.
Steve says he can't go to CitizenCon because he lives with anxiety, being around people out of comfort zone. I'm laughing at your condition, but I'm laughing at the fact that that is not uncommon. A lot of people have their fair amount of situations and ailments to deal with, but social anxiety is one of them. And there was an individual, I'm not going to mention names, but CitizenCon 2016, I want to say, that I went to. And I was like, oh my God, it's good to meet you. And I shake his hand, and the guy was like, starting to sweat and looking around, and having trouble breathing. And like I saw, like, damn, like I guess me rushing up to this guy and shaking his hand was not returning the reaction I thought, but instead caused a panic reaction. And I realized, because it took me a second to understand why. But kudos to everyone that is dealing with anxiety issues and does go to the events, because they do. A lot of people force themselves out of their comfort zone to attend these events because they just do want to meet the people that they hang out with a lot. And, I had to understand. I never was really around individuals like that before, but I came to understand it. And I understand the amount of mental preparation it does take for a lot of people to attend the events. So, yeah, Steve, I get it. But a couple of drinks, and do some shots and come out. I forced myself to go back to work for 5 years. Yeah, it's a challenge. Definitely is. But look, I've seen people get through it and fight through it. It's doable. Not impossible. So baby steps, right? You can do it. And this concludes our self-improvement phase of the stream. So let's see. We do cultural sensitivity training, and then we do, what do we call it? Self-development, self-improvement. Is there a name for that? I see we're slowly developing segments to the stream. I like it. Subscribe to my Discord, where I'll be talking about how to get a Bugatti.
To form the crack, and then we scatter the ecosystem height maps on top to get the look that we want. So if we go down here,
Stampede
you can see we start with like flatland
Mr. Lever, I'd be more concerned about
craters, and then
people sneezing and not covering their mouth and snot everywhere, rather than
quite
stampedes.
spiky looking mountain formations. And then down here, they feather into like these longer ridges of bedrock before it becomes smooth down here. And if we jump to this point, which is a really cool spot because like the sun just hits the obsidian in the right way and everything looks like nice and shiny.
That's awesome. So speaking of unique structures, he was talking about a big, if you can see the thumbnail there, it's a big streak of obsidian that basically scars the whole one side of this planet. So I mean, this kind of stuff for geology fans like myself, I mean, I love that idea that there's this huge vein of obsidian running through an entire planet or moon. That's awesome.
You can see here that the ground looks quite different from other planets. So instead of
so this
soil,
is last year's.
It almost looks artificial in a way. Acid-wise, we're using one of our obsidian sets that you can also find on Stanton 4. This one got a bit of an update, a bit of polish, so we improved the shapes, different textures just to make it look extra cool.
Aaron,
like
soon.
The way the sunlight
look at what,
hits,
that's awesome. So
sorts of-
if you guys just dropped in, the one thing which excites me more about Pyro, aside from the game loops that are coming with that, is basically just the new environments. And for those of us back in the game, we've seen, this is last year's video, they've teased us with it, but I'm excited just to go like an obsidian biome. Absolutely, like I'm very curious to see and experience the new biomes they stick in. That's awesome.
Are more dry, covered in dry sand. The vegetation is dry. We added some of these spiky shapes to add some verticality to the scattering. But yeah, outside the obsidian,
That's what she said,
crack,
says a ninja.
this is what you will find on the planet most of the time. So this go-to point I picked to show some of the subtle color that we added to Pyro VI. So the obsidian crack is like kind of just dark
Obsidian
gray,
crack. That
black.
is an awesome name for a
The
ship.
desert I just showed is also light gray. So we felt this needed a bit of a color breakup. So we added some of these red hues to the occasional biome.
I don't see why you'd mine obsidian. I mean, is there what value would obsidian have? It seems to be a very abundant item. I don't know if there's a use for it besides making like surgical blades.
The height maps in the background. We're gonna end our showcase today on Pyro VI. Pyro VI has a very interesting color palette. Like I really like the yellows and the pale beige tones of the terrain. And then you have another blue ocean. As you can see, the terrain is kind of ridden by craters, and we get these really cool shapes where the ocean fills in those craters. If we jump all the way down to the edge of one of those craters, so now we're at the edge of one of those craters. I'm jumping in game right now just to show you what it feels like walking along here. You can see that we added some dramatic looking coral shapes.
Cool.
Then eventually,
So remember, keep in mind this is all from a year ago already. So if this is what they had for Pyro last year, I have no doubt that other star systems are done. In fact, I wouldn't put it past them to surprise us and say Pyro's done. Oh, by the way, here's a jump point to the next one and the next one, maybe 3 or 4 done. Not impossible.
the water and how it looks against the backdrop of the white chalky terrain. Then over here, I want to introduce you to our human scale ref mesh. His name is Rüdiger, and he's super helpful when we set up object presets, because you can immediately see how the scale of assets feel when you have him in situation. Like, he adds context to the scene. He spawns every time that object preset spawns, and yeah, he helps us find the right values when it comes to the scale of our assets. In general, this biome here is another good example of how our ground textures work together with the assets that we put on top. So the transition is really nice from this ground texture to this one. And then we have like the same rock set on both of them. And it makes for like a nice amount of detail on the ground. Then occasionally we spawn some of these spider-looking ground cover meshes. So this spot here is really nice because you get like the particles, the monochromatic terrain, the assets, and it's all against the backdrop of the skybox of the Pyro system, which is red. Then we get like some really cool looking sunbeams.
Warlock asking, not sure on this year's CitizenCon they mentioned the planets rotating around stars. Was this mentioned anyway before something? Also, we'll get real planet temperatures, weathers versus distance from the star. Yes, Warlock, that already exists. The closer you are to the star itself, the hotter that planet is, and the further away, the more of an ice biome they have. As far as rotating around the star itself, I don't... Did I mention anything about that? I don't recall. I know they've mentioned they want realism like that at some point. I don't recall if that's something which is being introduced anytime soon, because the way that you get to areas is when you quantum to it. It's got to be in a fixed spot, and quantuming to one location, but say there's a moon or another planet in its path, is very complicated. Let's just do the closing here, and we'll get that question a bit deeper. If anyone has a better answer for me, let me know. But as far as I know, a planet rotating around a star is doable, but it'll make things complicated as far as travel goes, because you might have to just quantum through a physical object to get there.
Work that we did in the last 2 years. I'm super excited to see you guys explore the Pyro system for the first time, to hear your feedback. There's still work that we have to do. But I hope that you are even more excited than before after seeing what I showed you today.
Yes, we are. All right. And in closing, we have some beautiful shots of Pyro I, Pyro II, the blue crystals. This is a Breaking Bad dream planet. This is the Australian outback planet. I like that biome. If you want to do a space cowboy Aquila City, it's going to be there. Beautiful. And we learned about the density of space moss on rocks. I want you guys to pay attention to that. This looks like kind of space weed. Beautiful. Sunsets. Another sunset. The Obsidian planet. Yeah. Exciting stuff. I can't wait to get in there. I'm looking forward to Pyro. You guys getting early. Good for you. Glad to see that happening. So on the topic of the planets orbiting, Steve chiming in here. It can already be done. The planets can move already. It's a resource hog on the servers for one. And the spline pathing needs advanced calculations to intersect the correct points to stop it from smashing into other moving bodies. Right. So, I mean, it's not impossible. It can be done, but the question is it needed? For those that's jumping in, the question was, do the planets orbit around the sun? It can be done, but does it need to be done? Right? Planetary orbital speeds can vary enough due to the mass. There can realistically be orbital systems where the planets never align and block each other. Yeah. I mean, knowing Chris Roberts, he'll probably want it. But honestly, I mean, it's not going to make a big difference in my life if the planet is actually orbiting or not, if it means they're going to add 1,000 different new navigation systems to figure out how to do it correctly. Obviously, a lot easier if your planet is fixed in space. I mean, we know the planet's already spun on the axis, but yeah, a nice feature, but I don't think it's necessary. I wouldn't put it past Chris Roberts to want it in the game, though, right? New system will use AI pathfinding, says Death Factor. Really? Anyone got an invite to the Pyro test server yet? Is Evocati into that yet? I think Evocati PTU, if they haven't received it today yet, should soon. From what I saw. Evo for Pyro? Death Factor? Has everyone from Evocati already gone to the Pyro system? What's new on Reddit? I think the window was Friday. Okay. EPTO was yesterday. Okay, thanks, Warlock. For 6 hours the day before. Alright. Alright, but that was just a quick 6-hour test. We're talking like basically open Pyro and off you go. Pasternak. I want to put my ship in orbit around planets like we used to be able to do with moons. Yeah. I remember those. Innkeeper, thanks for dropping in. We support your people, alright? Kamalasa. Kamalasa. We will do everything we can to prevent your language from going, your beautiful language from going extinct. In fact, we're just going to start speaking Danish in stream here. I think that's a way to basically maintain your culture, right? Thanks for the follow, Pasternak. 1,000 milks, yep. What's the next cultural sensitivity video we should do? I think it's very educational. Can I buy Gundo Station? Oh, speaking of, where's the star map? Apps. Star map? Here we go. When's the last time you guys saw this? Should do Poland next. Yeah. That's actually not a bad one. So, new guys, if you haven't seen this, this is the award-winning star map that CIG got some kind of awards for. Explore star map. Now, it's probably dated at this point. I doubt this is what the map of the game look. I mean, this came out very early on. When was this? You guys remember when this was first released? Very early on. I doubt this is what the current system looks like. Plus, they want to leave it open for exploration. You got to find your way around. So, maybe this is an early version of what they thought it would look like. It may even be the same at this point. But here's Sol. And here is Pyro. And the surrounding systems to Pyro. Pyro Cano Jump Point. Pyro 1. Checkmate Station. Is that a thing? Wow. I haven't seen this map in so long. Pyro 5. 6. Terminus. Terminus? Is Empire there? Speaking of, where's the next season of that? 1 second. If you guys haven't seen it, if you are a sci-fi fan, I strongly recommend Foundation. Oh, so good. I know I'm distracted easily, 1,000 different things, all right? But speaking of the Planet Terminus, Foundation, what a good show. What an amazing show. Great actors, great story. Love it. They just finished season 2 on Apple TV. But really good show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The reason I mention it is because they go to this planet called Terminus for reasons I won't mention because no spoilers. But really enjoyed this. And if you do like sci-fi, give it a watch. So good. Lee Pace, is that his name? Brother Day? Great actor. Oh, Dermer, she's awesome. I love her in that. She does the role really, really well. Brother Constant. She's good too. But really looking forward to a season 3. It's I didn't expect much from the show. But definitely surprised me. So yeah, sci-fi fans, definitely if you have Apple TV or other means or methods to watch this, give it a watch. You will definitely enjoy that. So yeah, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so Pyro. I was saying, have I read the books? No, Firebrand, I haven't. But now after watching season 1 and 2, I want to read the books. I know that if Seth is watching, he's like, yeah, we should read more. I know I should. But I definitely do want to get into the books now. And I know that if I read the books, I'll be disappointed by how the show depicts it. But still. So from Pyro, let me think. What do you think? Do you think we'll have surprise systems? Pyro Nyx? The Hadrian? Castra? Osso? Stanton we know. Mac, it's always like that though. It's always like that. When have you ever read a book and then seen the movie or the series and go, oh, the movie and series was better? The books are always better. It's as if you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you watch the movie or watch the series because they take their own creative kind of creative takes on it and it doesn't come through exactly the same, right? So assuming they do surprise us with another system, okay, Stanton to Pyro we got. But look, Checkmate Station, Pyro to Cano. I wouldn't be surprised if there are jumps that they're not telling us about that are prepared. The Cano system, I know nothing about that, but it does have a jump point to Pyro. Is it crazy to think they may surprise us with a couple of jump points we don't know about? Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is an exception. I mean, yeah. I can see that. But debatable. I know people who've read the Lord of the Rings and go, they didn't like the movie was not exactly as I thought it would be, but it never is, right? Yeah. It's a station you spawned at CitizenCon. Well, Seth, not all of us were there, okay? So if we weren't there, how are we supposed to know that? See, damn it. These guys who've played Pyro like, oh, don't you know anything about Pyro? Like, no, we weren't there. A Checkmate Station? So if you were at CitizenCon, Checkmate Station is where you did spawn, according to Seth. Right? The panels. Who watched the panels? I just watched the summaries. Yeah. But, I mean, the Montreal team has been working at this for some time. I don't put it past them to have several more systems ready, at least to explore, not fully fleshed out. But with server meshing coming in, why not have a couple more systems in? And it's definitely going to create a bit more interest in the game with more trade routes that are in there too, right? I watch the summaries of the summaries. Absolutely, Firebrand. You find like a Noobifier who'll give you the summary, and then you go to ChatGPT and you go, hey, can you summarize Noobifier's video? So you can condense his 2-minute summary of all CitizenCon into a 20-second summary, and you're good to go. Steve's saying he believes Nyx is done as well. I wouldn't put it past them. I do think there's surprises in store. I think CitizenCon was great. What they showed us was awesome. We've covered that last couple of streams. And I wouldn't put it past them to have Nyx done. Where's the next jump point here? Pyro. Terminus. Castra. Is there a Nyx jump point? There it is. So it's quite distance out. That's the other thing. The distance of traveling, like say you are coming out of Nyx and you're trying to get to the Hadron. This distance here is massive. That's why there's ships which we need to carry, because the amount of fuel you might need to make this journey is going to be huge. Magnus. Magnus is in Stanton. The Magnus jump point was spoken about at the devs VIP party. Really? Interesting. Let's hop over to Stanton. Let's take a look. There are 4 systems of Squadron 42, so in theory they could have 5 systems some point soon. Uh-huh. Alright, so Stanton Magnus. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from Seth, who says that CIG themselves mentioned this, which means it's true and must be happening. Alright? Not only do we have the Pyro jump point, but now we also have the Magnus, which is out here. And Magnus looks like this. Magnus 1. Borea. Tell me about Borea. Which looks like a nice planet. I see a green biome with water and oceans. Where's Magnus close to? All within close. So yeah, if you new guys who might not have seen this map before, this is an old, very early star map of what the Star Citizen universe will look like. Red is Vandul. Banu are the yellow triangles. UE is blue. Gion in green. Developing and unclaimed. Unclaimed are these guys. It's big. There's a lot. And as we said earlier, space is going to be empty. So I, for one, do not need 100 star systems. I need 4 or 5 fully fleshed systems. Give me 4 or 5 fleshed out systems any day. I believe Magnus is home of Drake, is it? That's cool. So, okay, so basically like Starfield, where some ship manufacturers have their home base in different systems. And if you go with that system, you get the parts for cheaper, right? That'll be awesome. So you want to buy yourself a Drake ship, and you know you can make a couple of jumps and save a ton of money by going there. I guess the risk is, will you get blown up going there if it's dangerous? I wish the star map was going to be like this. Visalium, we saw the map system in CitizenCon. They've improved drastically on what the navigation and map system is going to look like. So while it may not be this exactly, it's a lot improved over what we have right now. But theory crafting on Pyro. Look, Terra, no, I don't think Terra comes into play anytime soon at all. Terminus, awesome planet from what we've seen from a few TV shows. Stanton, Castra. What the hell's Castra? Blue Giant. That Betelgeuse? That's a massive blue giant because we zoomed right into it. That's going to be a big star. God damn, and I'm stuck. I can't move. I can't zoom out. No, zoom me out. I broke it. Back? There we go. Castra 1, Castra 2. Jump point to Nyx. Do you think QT will be boring? No. Look. They showed us... Initially, you were supposed to navigate to QT, right? Refresh my memory. CitizenCon 2000... Was it 18? Was the one where they did the jump point and they were doing it live? And you had to basically navigate your way. And if you hit the walls, you take damage or you get thrown out. Was it the Austin one? Yeah. So they definitely made it. So the idea was in the Austin CitizenCon when they showed us and the dev was flying through the actual quantum wormhole itself was if you hit the edges, you take damage or basically get thrown out of quantum possibly. So there'll be some jump points which will be easier to navigate in a small ship. And the larger ships will be tougher to navigate through the tighter holes. Is that what they said? 2019 was the... No, Seth. You're mixing up your decades. Gabby, what's up? Welcome to chat. I'm sorry, Gabby. Next year for sure. I'll definitely take you up on that. But I appreciate you making a bracelet for me. Awesome. Thank you very much. I mean, I do have my... Seth made me dog tags 3 years ago. So I do wear every single thing that's given to me. Next year for sure, Gabby. And I have something for you too. One of our esteemed members named Doc Flanagan made a bunch of these pins for us. And we made this pin specifically for you. It's a bit dusty, hang on. There we go. It even says in the back, to Gabby with all our love. I'm joking, it doesn't really say that, but now that I've said it, I'm going to have to put it in there. Yeah, so we made this just for you. I appreciate it, Gabby, but next year for sure. Sorry for missing you guys. But I saw your pictures on Twitter. Looks like you had a wonderful time. If you guys don't know, where are you from, Gabby? God damn it! What is your Twitter? I'm not gonna. What the hell? What's going on here? Miss Gabby Z? I mean, we do follow each other, yeah. Look at that. Gabby got in with Chris and Sandy. Oh, I guess I can see my screen. Huh? Yeah. Awesome. Was this the VIP party? I mean, there's tons of people that got this picture. I can only imagine the amount of hugging that Chris and Sandy had to do over the event because everyone wants a picture with them. And I feel bad. I never bothered approaching Chris Roberts at the last one I went to because there's people lined up that just want to touch them. It's like, oh my God, I touched Chris Roberts. I've never experienced that level of fanboyism, but I mean, I did meet Chris Roberts at the 2016 and we gave him a bottle of schnapps made by... who made us the schnapps again? Darge? Darge made us schnapps. And I presented it to him. And like, okay, we've met, that's cool. But they're so busy. All the devs are really, really busy. And there's so many people who want to meet them. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to meet you this year. It's fine. But I'm glad to see Gabs here. And a lot of the new content creators have come along over the past couple of years. Have basically come along and got the opportunity. Can I give you a cultural lesson in furries? Oh, the ears? I don't think Gabs is technically a furry. I think it's just for the brand. Is it? I don't know enough about furries to give an opinion. But I've seen... Actually, I'm lying. There is a furry... Oh God. I'm about to make your eyes melt. Chat, if you are easily offended, please leave now. Should I do this? Well, I guess I can. I mean, it is... There was a furry org in Star Citizen. And I'm warning you now, cover your eyes if this stuff is going to piss you off. What were they called? I don't know. Are we off topic here? I mean, Star Citizen is very... Gabs, you missed earlier, but I do take a portion of every stream to engage in cultural sensitivity training. And, you know, as a big community, I feel that Star Citizen backers are very accepting of all different cultures, nationalities, religions. But in doing so, I have to basically say that I have to expose you all to the fact that Star Citizen does have a furry org. Yeah. And that furry org has a video. They're called Zoo. I kid you not. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Look, hey man, if this is how they want to play the game, then this is how they want to play the game. It's not hurting anyone. This is my final stream. But anyway, it goes on and on. I'm gonna save you the watching that. But there is a furry community. All right, 9 years ago, yeah. So look, there is a furry community that exists in Star Citizen, and they are pretty hardcore into their content. I mean, that guy's medical. And, oh, the org name is Zoo. You know what? I haven't checked on this in years. We're off topic completely from Gabby's enough intent for today. But there is an org that caters to furries, and it's called Zoo. So if that is how you like to do the game, and they are big into the RP, then go for it, right? Yeah. Death Messenger, don't start that. There's no problem. Oh my god, yeah. We're not going to get off the rails just yet. But anyway, going down Gab's Twitter. So, who's this? Who's this guy? I know he's a streamer, right? I was wondering, like, why the hell is he wearing that? And I was like, that's stupid. Why'd you wear that? And then someone said, oh, he's a Care Bear. Henkin, thank you. Yes. So I was like, why is he wearing that? And then I was explained because he's wearing a bear outfit because he's a Care Bear. It's like, okay, all makes sense now. I understood. Will furries be around? Yeah, look, do what you want as long as you're not hurting anyone. I don't care. It doesn't affect my life if you want to play as a furry or not. But I can imagine his little bear costume, they got pretty hot later on. But looking great, ladies. Great to see more of a female presence in this game also, because I know it is sorely lacking in many gaming circles where there isn't enough of female presence, or the females in the game itself don't want to make it known because of harassment. But glad to see it going strong in Star Citizen. What? Good God. Gabs, are you still here? What is this? What's going on here? Pretzel. Live colorfully. So, some of these pictures, okay, I'm married, and if my wife walks in and sees me scrolling past, she goes, what are you looking at? I go, nothing. Nothing at all. Stop. Nothing. So, Gabs, please, keep it clean. None of these feeling cute today stuff, because I gotta scroll right past it. I can't spend more than 2 seconds staring. It doesn't look well. Doesn't not look good for me. Oh, look at that. Anyway, that's Gab's Twitter. Give her a follow, and definitely drop by her stream. Show some support. We love our female content creators, and she's doing a wonderful job. Also plays the violin, which means she's talented in not only playing video games, which is awesome. But I'm glad to see you got some time with Chris and Sandy. They're great. And this concludes our visit with Gabs. An exceptional musician. I have talent. God damn it, everyone's giving you praise. I have talent too, all right? I can do things. Yeah, I don't play any instruments. I'm sure there's stuff I can do. What can I do? I have a lightsaber I can swing around. Does that count? Pretty sure I have a... What talent do I have? looking around at things I could possibly show you that I have. I have no goddamn talents. This is it. You heard me sing. Yeah. Well, actually, I got awesome cosplay coming up for Halloween. Ugh. The one and only thing I wear every single time is my Jedi outfit. You know, hang on. It's the easiest thing to do. All you gotta do is put on the Jedi robe and take out a lightsaber and you're good to go. Alright, so easy peasy. This is my Halloween costume. There's my lightsaber. Yeah, right. Easy as that. Halloween's done. Lightsaber comes out. The kids love this. It's always a big hit. Come for the cultural sensitivity training and stay for the Jedi training too, yeah. But this year is going to be cold, so I appreciate a good warm Jedi robe. It's definitely going to help. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's definitely a reusable item, and if you live in places where it gets cold during Halloween, I cannot recommend anything better than a Jedi as a Halloween costume. Always works. The Force is strong. Absolutely, yes. I look great. Of course I look great. I always look great, Gabs. Come on. In fact, the last person that said I didn't look great was booted from my stream. We only take compliments here. A bathrobe. Yeah. Actually, you know what? If we just buy a brown bathrobe, it can double as a Jedi outfit too. It's doable. Yeah. But anyway, that's my Halloween costume taken care of every single year. Although, you know what I do want to do? After watching Ahsoka, next year's costume is very definitely going to have to be my man Baylor. So his okay, I need an orange saber first of all. I love the lightsaber. Yeah, we're totally off topic now. Now that after we saw Gabbers with ears, I'm definitely gonna 3D print this for next year. Grow the beard out a bit. I need hair. I'll get a wig, but I love this. This is good. He was awesome. So sad that he passed away. But I'm totally going for Balin. Sorry, Baylor. I'm going for Balin next year. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a stretch, but can just 3D print the shoulders. Actually, you could probably buy this already. I'll look into it. But I would want to 3D print the armor itself. Not too bad. Just the shoulders and the gauntlets. I think we're good to go. Yeah, I can't believe what an awesome role. What an awesome role he had. Like, and the way it ended, I'm not going to give anyone spoilers there, but if you watch Star Wars Rebels, you would understand what's happening in that final scene. He's standing on the statue, and the statue's kind of pointing, and it's pointing at something, and there's a statue on his left and the right, and the one's kind of destroyed. And if you watched the Star Wars Rebels, you go, oh my God, I know what this is. But then no one around you is as big as a nerd as you. You're the only one who gets it. And you can't explain it to them because they're just not as exciting. Yeah. So you have to come to my stream so we can all nerd out together about exactly what the relevance of what you just saw was. It's curious that it's that planet, which is in another universe, though. I mean, that's so far away. In a universe far, far away. But yeah, so sad. I don't know. I hope he's replaced with someone as good. in the next series. He was best as Pulos in HBO's Rome. I did not watch that, Firebrand, but I'll definitely take a look at it now that you mentioned it. Yeah. Very sad. Did I mention how he passed away? I didn't read the news, just that he did. I didn't get any details about it. But what? I mean, there's no good time to pass away. But what an absolutely shitty time, right as he hit what I feel is probably the best role in his career. There's so much to do. Oh, and what's his apprentice name? Shin. She's awesome too. What's her name? Shin? It is Shin, right? Shingles. Shin. Ahsoka. What is this actress name? I think she's awesome. Shin Hattie. I don't know. She's got that crazy. She's on the crazy hot scale, right? You guys know what the crazy hot scale is. You got to be at least this hot to be this crazy, and she's got that right amount of crazy. Like, oh my god! Like, look at those eyes. She's insane. It's so hot. Shin Hattie was a force-sensitive female during the New Republic era. I think she's great. Yeah. Shin Baddie compilation. All right, let's take a look at what good posts we have on the Star Citizen Reddit this morning. Now that Space Farming Simulator is confirmed, CRG, please don't forget the UTV. What the hell's a UTV? Another buggy? Oh wait, you can put your weapons in the back. Where's this from? When was this announced? Did I miss this? Grey Cat? Okay. Alright, we can always use more space buggies, I guess. Zeus official. CitizenCon last year. Alright. Yeah. Why is this titled Zeus official? What's official about it? Are these images official? Stockish Racer, thanks for the follow. All right, so, all roads lead back to Zeus. We keep on trying to get off this topic, but it keeps on dragging us back in. Do you change your spear to upgrade your cutlass into the Zeus? I don't know. Let's just go to Reddit and do something else completely, which brings us back to the Zeus again. So, I'm assuming these are official images. Where's this from? It doesn't say, but, these look official. Oh, these like, the 3D model. They don't have a source on these? Nope. You own all the spirits, then you ransom your wife to buy ZK3. Maybe upgrade your cutlass, by the way. Test Zeus is best Zeus? Yeah, every test ship is the best ship. Come on. No, but Adrian, it is a straight up upgrade, right? It absolutely is. I mean, I think a cutlass is like the workhorse of Star Citizen. Everyone at some point is owning a cutlass. But you get bored, right? So I don't mind losing some DPS just to get one of these. I think it's a perfect upgrade. It does look sleek. And for those who are new and wondering why people keep talking about the ships in Star Citizen and you kind of min-maxing, everyone's looking for their go-to ship. Everyone wants that home ship, the one which you'll be using all the time for everything. Not that you have to, but it's cool having an all-round ship. I play this way. I like to have an all-round ship that it might not do everything perfectly, but it does everything just well enough. And the Cutlass is one of those. It has a bed, there's storage in the back. Your friend comes along, they got a place to sleep. They also have a turret. Now this comes along and goes, hey, now you can have two friends in there to do that thing. Now there's the captain quarters, and there's two bunks, and there's more space. So you can fly it solo, although you may have difficulty if there's some problems that happen. But this is what I feel, especially because it's the same size as the Spirit. The Mercury Star is all, yeah. Well, that's, I think the Mercury Star and got all of us too. Actually, when the 400i came out, I'm like, oh, the 400i is my ship now. It keeps on changing. Do you think we'll ever get the Anvil cap ship? How am I pronouncing your name, Mr. and Mrs. Pasternak? TFSX Pasternak? Is it, can I just say Pasternak? Is that doable? If there is an Anvil ship coming, then it will be a surprise and very likely for IAE or Christmas sale. I knew a Pasternak in South Africa. You aren't from South Africa, are you? Jewish kid. Do we know each other? Montoya, you gotta love the cockpit view though. Yeah. So the visibility is the other thing. Being able to, I don't have the Tobii eye, but if you look down and you can see where you're going for landing, it's a selling feature for me. Floridian. Okay. Well, a lot of South Africans I know end up in Florida. Could be. Some real cool pics in the Jump Point magazine. Are these from Jump Point? Space Games? It says official. Okay, this could be Jump Point. But yeah, so I've got the CCU. I haven't applied it yet, but my Spirit is likely becoming the this. I don't see why not. I think it's a straight up upgrade, especially the interior. It's just awesome. Decided to upgrade my 45 pledge for my birthday. Prettiest ship I've ever seen. What'd you get? Really? I guess it's good. Not bad. Jump Point. Okay. No, I haven't checked it out yet. We'll get there. High-end AMD GPU crashing possibly resolved in Star Citizen. Alright. Any of you having GPU problems? Haven't had any of that in a long, long time. Zeus Mark II MR sneak peek. How's this a sneak peek? We had to look at the interior already. Getting the lore on Pasternak here. Got the name from Ace Combat Games. Alright. Fair enough. We got it now. See, I'm learning about you guys. You're learning about me. I'm learning about you. This cultural exchange is awesome. So the interior of the ship is nothing new, but what we're seeing now is, I guess, a reference to models and the buggy in there, which fits comfortably. That's good to see. These are the armor lockers. You know, the ship is not that much, well, it's Spirit size, but it seems the interior is so much more efficient. That's the thing also. The Spirit is mostly wings. It makes it look big. Here they've taken the same footprint and just crammed, I feel, a lot more into it. Which is unfair if you bought the Spirit. And now here's a straight up upgrade of what I feel is a better ship with a lot more interesting interior. Right? A lot more details. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's an interesting question. Why are there no robots in the Star Citizen universe? There was some lore about it. Let's see here. AI has caused, yeah, this is it. AI has caused deaths enough times that it's outlawed, right? This is exactly like the show Foundation, where I mentioned. Oh my God, Star Citizen is ripping off Foundation. Now it's all making sense. Right down to the name of the planet Terminus. That's what's happened. So the reason there's no robots is AI has caused deaths. It's outlawed. Not like the weapon solution computer gives you aiming input, but actual intelligence. I remember reading something about this quite some time ago. AI was banned. It seems to be a common theme, like in 40K. Right. It seems to be a common theme that a lot of authors are concerned about AI just getting out of control and becoming something which can be unleashed. Well, same in Cyberpunk. Spoiler free. Well, you saw this in the previous one also. But basically in Cyberpunk, there's a lot of rogue AI, which are basically walled off and kept away from the rest of the world. Because if they had to release the AI onto the world, it would just destroy everything. So common theme in a lot of sci-fi, it seems, that AI can just be something which needs to be controlled. Dune also. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm so glad we don't have that problem now. I would love to know what happened to that mech armor. Raven, there has not been any mention of it recently. I'm trying to think. Nothing was said about it during this CitizenCon. If there is ever going to be something done with that mech armor, it's definitely going to be a surprise for whenever they do decide to release it, if they will ever. It's never been 100% confirmed, but we have seen a model. Did I see a model of it here? What the hell's the link for the Fleet Viewer? It's not hang a link, is it? What's the URL for this? Why is it not popping up? Did I see one in the Fleet Viewer? Let me just double check. I may have. What is hang a link? Okay. Let's take a look. Am I crazy? Did Starjump have it? Add item or ship. What was the name of the armor? What was it called? Hang a link? Yeah. What was the name of it? I could be hallucinating, but I thought I saw the actual armor itself. Titan? Let's see. Titan suit. Here we go. I'm not crazy. See? You thought I was insane? Okay, so he there is a model of it. I guess a picture at least. Huh? Titan exosuit, yeah. To zoom in, but there it is. So is this semi-official, can we say? But there's been no mention of it anyway. I'm not sure where this 3D model came from. I guess we'll have to ask Starjump. It's not a suit. It's a suit, not a full mech. You're right, yes. Thank you, Arkno, for the correction. It's not a full mech. Supposed to carry a size 1 weapon. Going in for hand-to-hand combat against Vandul. Oh. Like on Pandora, right? That would be cool. What do you guys think about $150 LTI? Can you solo the Titan exosuit? Unfortunately not. To actually use the suit, there has to be a pilot and 58 people for support. All right? Because it's impossible. Yeah, so I guess the model exists. We don't know how accurate this one is or if it will be anything close, but it makes sense if you are fighting against a superior and much stronger adversary that maybe they'll develop some kind of technology to make you, at least have a chance. Could work. Josh John Crew. You know what? Maybe I'll tweet this out. Let's tweet this out. Hey, at Star Citizen, any word on the Titan suits? Picture. Let's see. It is a Titan suit, right? Am I spelling anything incorrectly there? Let's see. Maybe we get a response. Maybe we don't. Never heard of it. Absolutely. So guys, it is 12:15 West Coast time. I'm starving. I gotta get some food. But thank you for joining me for an awesome stream this morning. I like where this is going. I like that we are kind of developing our format. We'll do a segment. We'll attempt to do a segment on cultural sensitivity training every day, and maybe then we'll talk about how to deal with issues like insecurity and what's the other issue we had? We'll deal with all mental health issues, and then we'll talk about furry sensitivity training. I think we're onto something. We're definitely onto something. This is good. Geon Engineering and you. Yeah. Oh, you know what, Arc Nova? I mean, this is just the human exosuit. There might be alien ones too. There's so much they can do. A flying one, a flying exosuit from the Geon that floats. There's so many ways that can go with this. There's so many, yeah. The opening, if this comes out, they're opening the doors so much. Danish language lessons. Yeah, we need to get Imp and Munkin and Shive in here. And the three of them could possibly guide us through. You know what? That's not a bad idea, Lord Cat. I think it's our duty to promote the use of Danish by us learning the language itself. Every day we will try learn one word in Danish, and eventually we'll get to the point where we just have conversational Danish, thus saving the language itself. I think Korean, here's a problem. Co-founder of Test Sung is in Korea at the moment, South Korea, I believe. And they're facing a terrible problem of population decline, where people are simply not getting married and not having babies. So I feel maybe that's something that you guys might be interested in helping them with that. We're going to discuss strategies. What you guys, not me, I'm married, but many of you are single. So we'll discuss strategies of what can you as a single man do help the population decline in Korea, South Korea, probably North Korea too. Faroe. Oh, second cut, you're from the Faroe Islands? That's awesome. That's cool. We actually had a member from the Faroe Islands many years ago. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I think there's definitely a lot of good we as a community here in the stream can do to both save the Danish people, we'll save the Koreans. You know, there's we'll put our minds to it. We can do it. The spirit is willing, the flesh is spongy. There's going to be snoo involved. I can tell it. Yeah. Brother Passport Bros. Oh, yeah, I see. I keep on seeing those TikToks of the Passport Bros, like visiting Thailand or visiting Colombia, like Venezuela and places. And really, the hooking up with what I would assume is unattainable in their home countries. But good for them. I mean, they're getting what they want. The partners they're meeting are getting what they want. And assuming it works, then I'm all for it. Why not? Family Guy episode where Quagmire recalls time in Korea. Yeah, I think I recall that episode too. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for joining me. I keep on saying I'm going to do an afternoon stream, but I'm finding it time-wise difficult because I do want to grab some clips from what we did this morning and put that on YouTube as a video. But by the time I'm done editing, it's already 5-6 p.m., so I'm having trouble doing that. But I do want to get an afternoon stream in sometime soon this week, so stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe and follow. YouTube, guys, was a pleasure. Twitter, thank you very much. Stockish Racer for the follow 29 minutes ago. I hope I didn't miss that. Pasternak, pleasure meeting you. Welcome to the stream. But with that, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining me today. It was a pleasure. And same time tomorrow morning around 9:30 a.m. West Coast, we'll do it again. Be sure to follow on Twitch and YouTube, and give Gabbers a follow on Twitter. And I think we will call that a wrap. And as is tradition, I usually log off at this point, and I'm reminded that I have to host. God damn. All right. Who's the host? Who am I sending us to? Let's go. Twitch. Let's take a look. Let's go. All right, ladies and gents. Gonna toss a host out to Hasanabi. No. Salty Mike. 344. No, Salty Mike's doing great already. I want to look for smaller, unknown viewers. Let's see. Who is smaller and unknown? Hocho Zhang. I can't read what that says. Hot yoga and stretching with Ivana, maybe. Stepsis Katie. Anyone know her? She any good? 1,000 viewers. She doesn't need it. Let's go over here. Let's see. Hey, it's me. Can I host myself? Oh my god, what a terrible thumb. God damn, is that what I look like? Why no one tell me I look like shit? Holy crap. No one said a word. It looks terrible. Boozeroo? No. Merc Life? Anyone have a streamer they follow here that know that has a very low viewership we can toss this to? Eddie McNade? I don't know who that is. Nibble in Dutch? No. Detox? You know what? Detox did toss me a raid before. I got to return the favor to Detox. Raid Detox. Let's do that. All right, ladies and gents, thank you very much for the stream. It was a pleasure. I'm tossing you over to Detox now. Give him my regards. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, same place, same time. Have a good one. And you're out in 3, 2, 1. Take care. I think I did that right. Was that right? I think so. Here's the point where I just insult everyone that was in chat. Because they can't hear me. Arc Nova thinks like he's a know-it-all. So irritating. And that Citizen Ninja guy, god damn. Okay, guys, have a good one. Catch you later.